Probably not. What? Okay, so how are you guys doing this week? What happened? What Icono? How are you have been doing? This is how this podcast starts, right? How are we doing?
Good.
Did you eat any ice cream?
As a matter of fact, I did. I had some ice cream.
Well, I feel bad for you.
No, it was like 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's terrible, dude.
Well, I mean, it was a special occasion, so...
Oh, was it? What was it?
Birthday.
It was something...
It was my birthday.
You know, that wasn't a segue into that, but that works really well. So, we'll keep it in there.
It's okay, Icono. I remember. It's all good. I got you.
All right. So wait. Let me get this right. So Jay-Z is 48 and Icono is 43.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No.
Was I in the ballpark?
No, actually, Icono's older than I am. But
if the ballpark is in like between like 0 and 50, then yes, you're in the ballpark.
Yes, close enough.
Now, if the ballpark is the decade, then you're off.
Decade. You're younger than 38.
You said 40.
I said 48.
You said 48.
So the decade would be 38 or 38 to 48.
Yes, we're both younger than that.
Yes, I am. I just turned 36, buddy.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah, we got about a 6-month gap in age. I'm 35 and a half, so.
God dang, you guys are old. I bet you remember like Nom.
Yeah, you should see me tear up the kids in the basketball court.
I will hit you with my cane.
Back in my day.
Oh man.
Oh,
not
goodness.
even close.
You know what's crazy is like, it's weird because you can look at this two ways, right? Like, either. Okay. So let's think about a good way to phrase this. So either I am just over half your age, or no, yeah, that's right, just over half your age, which doesn't seem that like that makes you guys seem old then, or it's like you look at it like I'm only 15 years away from you, and then that makes it seem like that's not that big of a difference. So it's weird, man.
Age is but a number, my friend.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm 36 going on 12.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
I'm the most immature person I know.
I think that's how you know when you're really getting old, when you have to clarify that you're going on 12. I think that's like a sign to people oh shit, this guy's old.
No, I think it's more of a mental state of like...
Well, obviously that's what it's supposed to indicate. Like, you're not saying like, oh, my sex drive is of a 12-year-old, you know? Like, you're obviously going for a mental age thing.
No, I don't think anybody's ever used that sentence in the history of
someone has never studied Freudian psychology, if that is the case. Ooh. That stuff starts young, man. It's weird. That's not what this podcast is about, guys. Are we cutting in and out? Can you guys hear everything all right? We good?
Oh, you're fine.
You're fine. Yeah, there's been no drops.
All right, man. No drops.
Can I get an invite? What are we doing? Are we doing strikes or?
I just kind of planned on running around on IO. I've spent like a total of 20 minutes on IO, and I just wanted to do IO things, you know?
Okay. Do you mind inviting me to that?
You're offline. I actually tried to, but you're offline now. I couldn't find your name.
I am not off. Well, wait a minute.
I'll invite you.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we got it! Oh, man. So who in chat is excited for raid carries coming back soon?
So if you go to the clan... Wait a minute. If you go to the clan tab, I should still show up even though I'm offline, right?
I
just made myself online, so but I'm pretty sure that even if someone's appearing offline, you can still go to the clan tab in Destiny and see that person.
Yeah, I got that IO game. We got that IO game today, guys. We're gonna get it. All right, so I can go ahead and start it. Or before we start it, do you want to talk about your thing, or like we haven't had an episode with a funny intro in a while? You want to talk about like how every banana is the same banana? It's kind of cool.
Is that funny?
I think that's more of just a scientific fact.
I think that's fascinating.
Jay-Z, I should be online now if you want to invite me.
All right.
Is it fascinating? Really? I mean,
that every banana that you will ever, maybe not you guys, because you guys are probably like not even an old joke. You guys have probably eaten the other bananas before the plague hit. The other, I forget what they're called, the other breed. But like kids my age will never eat a banana with differing DNA, or we haven't yet. Who knows what'll happen? But isn't that so weird to think about?
When did that age stop, Scarrow?
When did what age? What year did that happen? I have no idea. It wasn't too long ago. I think it was within the last 20 years.
Yeah, so probably when I was a kid.
Yeah. So, okay, you know banana flavored candy? Have you guys ever had a banana that actually tastes like that? Because that tastes identical to what the old bananas tasted like.
I like banana flavored candy though.
Well, okay, maybe it reminds you of bananas you ate in your childhood?
I wouldn't remember that though, but
okay,
possibly.
All right, well, this is a weird conversation. I guess this is funny. I don't know. All right, you guys ready to go on? We ready to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, all right. Who wants to? Icano, you do the intro. I've done like 33 of them.
Why are you putting me on the spot?
Well, just fucking do it. It's not that hard.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode. What's the episode?
35.
35.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 35 of the Last Word Podcast. This is XX Iconoclast talking to you on the interwebs. I know. I don't know why I get like super like radio.
he goes. I immediately lose 12 years of age whenever I start hosting.
I don't know why I just like immediately go into like radio shock jock voice. This is XX Iconoclast. I am joined by Scarrow9. Say hi, Scarrow9.
Woot!
And Jay-Z Basketball.
What is up?
All right, now do your thing, Scarrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So episode 35 of the Last Word. Like episode 3 or something of Destiny 2. We actually got some fun stuff to talk about today, including why Dead Orbit is the best faction, but we'll get into that later. But essentially, I wanted to start this off. Icano hit a banger on the Destiny subreddit, and I think he wanted to share the banger or something.
I'd like to share the banger, yeah.
All right, share the banger, man.
So, last night, well, let me preface first of all by saying that my wife is 8 months pregnant, so she's, she doesn't move around too much anymore. She gets on the couch, and that's where she is. And I knew that. So last night when I was playing Destiny in the living room, just kind of messing around, I was leveling up in Trostland, just doing some patrol stuff. I had to go pee. So I asked her, here, I just handed her the controller. I didn't even give her an option. I said, shoot stuff. And when I was going to go pee, I could hear in the distance, I could hear explosions and gunshots, and like she was actually doing it. She was actually shooting stuff. And then I came back and like I sat down next to her and I tried to like get the controller back from her, and she like was like not like refusing to give the controller back, but it was like I had to kind of like say, can I start playing again? That kind of thing. She's like, hold on, I gotta kill this guy, and she got a headshot on a dragon. She was so happy. So she was like, I just one-shotted a dude, and I was like, my wife just said one-shotted. And I don't know, I thought it was like kind of like I don't know. It brought me back to something that I feel like a lot of the subreddit for Destiny has forgotten, and that's the magic of Destiny. The magic of Destiny is that it is a very fun, crisp, good gunplay. I mean, great gunplay, probably the best gunplay, that we can play now, period. Good narrative, amazing environments. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about how good the music is. I mean, the music and the sound in this game is like second to none. There's a lot to love, I guess is what I'm saying about Destiny and Destiny 2. And when you go to the subreddit right now, we are 15 days into Destiny 2, and people have found every possible thing to nitpick and talk about how bad this is and how Bungie needs to fix this and what do you think in Bungie and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, God, guys, it's a brand new game. Give it time. I'm sure they're going to work on it. And I just wanted to post and share my story because it kind of brought me to like a more like, I don't know, like a more innocent kind of place where like you can just enjoy a game for what it is. And I could look at the game through the eyes of a casual and not the hardcore player that I am. And it really made me believe that a lot of what I'm reading on Reddit, yeah, it might be true, but there's a way to bring something to Bungie's attention without, lacing it with 14 pounds of salt. And there's just been a lot of salt on the Destiny Reddit recently, and I just wanted to like kind of like bring everybody back and just kind of remind everybody, hey, you know what? Yeah, there's stuff wrong with this game. I'll be the first one to tell you that there's plenty wrong with this game, but it's not broken. This isn't Diablo 3 at launch. It's not unplayable. It's not No Man's Sky at launch. It's not, you know, awful. It's a fun, engaging game. It's just not perfect. And to me, that's perfectly fine. You can play an imperfect game and still totally enjoy it. And I apparently, after 30,000 views on Reddit and like over like 1,500 last I checked likes on it, a good portion of the Reddit people agree with me. So.
And then now I'm just gonna intro a montage of Scarrow saying that exact thing over the last 30 episodes, real quick. And,
well, you know what it is though? It's like it's the celebrity factor of Destiny. The more people that enjoy the game, the bigger it becomes. The more people are gonna hate on it, even if it's justified or not. Like you're gonna find nitpicky things, just like you find nitpicky things on celebrities or on, you know, super popular things. Like you're gonna find every negative you can and overlook the positives because there are a lot more positives than negatives. That's just
how awesome would it be? Okay, so like if like we got weekly updates on Twitter and it was like this week, throw a celebrity out there. Give me a celebrity.
Let's go Ben Affleck.
All right, so Ben Affleck, and it goes like, you know, we nerfed his heavy ammo. We gave him a little bit, you know, plus 10 to the serious stat. You know, and it's like life was balanced the same way Destiny was. I think that would be pretty cool. That was, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, didn't his role in Batman automatically give him a 10 in the series? That?
No, because it's not part of Marvel. So.
Anyways. Moving on.
Yikes.
But yeah, no. I'm glad you finally came to that realization, dude. I mean, it's what I've been saying. Like, yeah, things need to be fixed, but there's nothing that is broken in this game or has been broken that well, especially not Destiny 2. Like, I have zero complaints about Destiny 2. Like, there's some things where I kind of questioned it first, but at the end of the day, like nothing's been crazy, you know? So, I don't know, man. I think people freak out about the small things way too quickly. I've always felt like that. Excuse me. So it's good to hear that that made top page though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like top page. And last I checked, that was the top post overall.
Well, there you go.
I like, and there's a lot of there's a lot of positive comments. People talking about similar situations to yours as well on there, which I like to see.
I'm not the only one, and that kind of made me. That actually made it a lot easier because I was like, when I posted it, you know, everybody says, well, I wasn't expecting that kind of response. To me, I actually was. I was thinking it's Friday morning. Destiny subreddit's going to be, you know, bopping because they want to see what's going on with Xur. They want to see what's going on with Trials. So I knew there was going to be a lot of people on today. And I knew that there was going to be a fair chance that I was going to have quite a decent amount of people reading it. So I knew it was going to get a lot of responses. I had no idea that those responses were going to be predominantly positive.
Yeah,
look at Icono playing the algorithm, dude.
Okay,
really? It's a good move. Yeah, no, that's good.
I mean, it's just there's just been so much negativity and so much salt in the subreddit that I was fully expecting everybody to be like, oh, get out of here, scrub. You know, there's plenty wrong with this game. This is Destiny 1.5. It's just an update. It's not even a sequel. Like, I was waiting for everybody to say that and just like completely invalidate my opinion. But no, everybody like basically was echoing what I said. Some dudes even said that, yeah, like I do the exact same thing. I sit with my wife or I sit with my kids and I see how they see the game through their eyes, and I can totally see how special it is to them because they've never seen this before. And you know, that's something that we as hardcore players, we lose sight of that when we play this game 18 hours a day, every day. It's like, you know, you start to forget how beautiful things are. Yes. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to bring everybody back and just get everybody to just remember what it was like the first time you booted this up.
Okay.
This game is not broken. It is a good game, and people need to remember that before they start, you know, complaining that Bungie needs to fix everything. I mean, Bungie does need to fix quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, but that's no reason to go in the subreddit and basically, you know, pull out the pitchforks and barge down Bungie's door. Yeah, it's just a little bit too much, in my opinion. I
kind of wanted to bring this up, and I think this is a good segue. So we go straight from talking about how good of a game it is and how we shouldn't give Bungie crap. Should this is part of the weekly update, by the way, so let's try to keep it a little bit on the shorter side. But should the Mida multi-tool be changed or nerfed? Have you guys been noticing well, for instance, in Trials today, 3 hours after Trials launched, it had been used in 98% of all games. I think it was 500,000 total kills, and the next weapon up was the Prosecutor with 250,000 kills. So literally half.
It was like 13% of the community was using it, which is insane for a, you know, any weapon to be used.
Well, like I said, it had been used by at least one person in 98% of the matches, which is insane. So yeah, do you guys think they're going to change it? That was, by the way, that question was brought up by Killtastic. I thought it would be good to kind of stick in here as well.
Well, what I don't understand is they nerfed it in Destiny 1. They took the high caliber rounds out, and then in Destiny 2, they made it the same thing and gave it high caliber rounds again. Well, I don't really understand that.
I don't understand why they brought it back. Like out of all the countries,
it was a year one weapon that was used by pretty much everybody as their go-to scout rifle in Crucible.
Well, one of the things I've been reading people saying and like justifying, like why are all these exotics coming back? You know, so people are like saying, you know, well, it's rehashed content, you know, and people keep saying that stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the arguments to argue in Bungie's favor is that we've been seeing stuff like the ACD feedback fence, and
that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm cool with them bringing back exotics if you're making them cooler.
Exactly. The argument was that they're bringing back exotics that people never really used in Destiny 1 in the first place. So if they bring it back in Destiny 2 and give it like a little bit of like an oomph, well then okay, that's okay, because then you're taking something that we're familiar with, but you're making it better.
Yeah.
Well, now what we're seeing is that it's not just that. They're bringing back exotics that were, I mean, arguably kind of broken in the first game. Like,
I would say overused is a better term, but definitely.
Overused, absolutely. And so that does not fit with the narrative of defending Bungie saying, well, they're only bringing back exotics that were never used, because that's absolutely not true. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like I have a hard. You know, I don't like the amount of reskinning and reusing of everything in the game.
That's actually that's our third topic. That is that's what I want to talk about. We can go ahead and talk about that. That's a good transition. I actually, you know, there's been a lot of complaining about, and I'm really interested. Everyone in the comment section that's watching this live, go ahead and leave your opinions on this too, because I'm really very interested in this one, especially today. So all over Reddit, people are like, you know, especially with the faction events, they're like, I'm not really too impressed with just a bunch of reskin stuff. And, you know, at the end of the day, my thoughts on it, I get it. I want cool design weapons too. But if you think about it, like, everything is just ones and zeros. Everything is just a reskin of that, essentially. You know, that's a really weird way to think about it. But, like, as long as they're not the same weapon, like, you know, if for instance, you have two Amalon sidearms and they're both 3-round bursts, but as long as they have different fire rates and range values and stuff, to me they are different weapons, and I don't really mind the reskin that much, especially with the new shader system and stuff. The armor's a little bit different. I think half of the hunter's legs now have the ninja toes. That's kind of annoying. Like, I obviously want variation, but to me it's not as big of a deal as it seems to be for some people. So let's start with Icano on this one, and then Jay-Z. So what, you know, go ahead.
The reason it's a big deal to me is because the new armor in Destiny 2 doesn't do as much as it did before. So right now you've got armor that, like exotic armor that has like something that does something cool. Then you've got mobility, resilience, and whatever, the recovery.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do as much, and all that's customizable anyway, so you could change it to make it however you want. So I guess what my problem with that is that if you reskin 8 different boots and they all look exactly the same, what is my drive for getting one boot over the other if I can just customize it anyways? If I can just put a mod on it that takes the mobility and kicks it up to 5, and I've got 3 other boots that look exactly the same in my vault, and they all have mobility of 5, then what's the reason for me to even grind for that boot in the first place?
Yeah, I just think
Destiny 2,
slightly different aesthetics.
Roles. Well, we had different roles in Destiny 1, so we have, you know, different things on everything. So there was a reason to grind. There's a reason to have a vault full of boots. Now in Destiny 2, I already don't have a reason to have a vault full of boots. But then I even have more of a reason to have a vault full of boots, because the vault full of boots that I do have, of those 4 different boots, they're all the same anyways. They all do the same thing, and they all look exactly the same. Only thing I could do is I could change the shader. You know, because like we're gonna talk about the future war call and all that stuff later. But all that stuff, it looks they took our regular legendary sets that we've been getting since day 1 on this game, and all they did is they put a future war call emblem on it, and it's like,
the color set, yeah.
I mean, now here's the thing: the argument in Bungie's favor is they did the exact same thing in vanilla, because all the stuff for the factions in vanilla Destiny, they were just reskins of the regular armor as well. So it's not very different than what they did in Destiny 1. But this, people are expecting more. You know, I mean, people, you know, tend to forget that this is vanilla Destiny 2, but people want this to be year 3 Destiny 2 because we're spoiled, because we have year 3 level stuff from Destiny 1 to look back on 16 days ago. You know, now it's like, well, no, this is vanilla Destiny 2. It's not going to have everything that year 3 Destiny 1 had. It's going to have everything that vanilla Destiny 1 had and more, but it may not have everything that year 3 Destiny 1 had. And that's what I think the problem is with people that are the naysayers of Bungie right now, is that they're expecting year 3 levels of customization, year 3 levels of choice of armor and variety, and you're just not going to get that, because this is a vanilla phase. Once we start getting some DLCs under our belts, then okay, and then we can start saying stuff. But again, this has been my whole argument since the beginning with Reddit, is that we're 15 days into it. Give them time. I don't think that we should start, you know, nerfing the Might of multi-tool because, you know, people are saying that it's being used too much. Okay, well, that was literally the first Trials ever, and the first Trials map was actually a pretty big map, so it lent itself to scout rifles. And what's the best scout rifle that you could get through a pretty easy exotic quest that literally everybody could do week 1? Okay, well, that's probably why the multi-tool is being used a lot, not because it's broken or that it needs to be nerfed. It was just an easy exotic to get that's really good. So I think that's what it boils down to, is that people are jumping the gun way too much and just really need to like calm down. Slow your roll, people. It's just, you know, it's 15 days in. Give them time.
Yeah. So, JZ, I just want to reply to some of those things and then, you know, do your thing. Yeah. So first off, I think, so the armor, I agree with that, because a lot of the armor, I mean, if you have 2 armor sets that are exactly the same, you know, for instance, let's just go with the faction stuff and then some of the regular, let's say the Titan New Monarchy and the Knight set that they have, you know, they are exactly the same, so it doesn't make sense for armor pieces as much, because the perks are variable but they don't do very much. But on weapons, you know, I think that's all right on weapons, where it's like, because every weapon's different. So as in, like, you know, Better Devils is gonna have different perks than another hand cannon with the same design, kind of thing. So I think it's slightly more acceptable on weapons. Would you agree with that than on armor?
Yeah, I think so. Just because, you know, I mean, well, I don't know. Like if we're talking card, the fire rate and everything is exactly the same, then I guess no, I wouldn't agree with that. There's no excuse for having 2 hand cannons or whatever that have the exact same fire rate, the exact same amount in the mag, the exact same, you know, perks and everything. That's like, then why am I grinding? I already have that.
Well, not the same perks though, because everything has static rolls and they would have different perks.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess I'd have to see the perks then. I would have to do that. I would have to judge weapon by weapon basis. And like I said, weapons are a little bit different. My main crux was against armor, because there just really isn't that much difference with armor.
Yeah.
Armor is mainly cosmetic at this point. So, I don't know. Like, I like personally, like right now, I've been like, I've been getting all sorts of stuff. I have not changed my mobility and my recovery yet. I haven't even looked at it, because when I have had different armor pieces that did max out my, you know, recovery and stuff, I'm not really noticing a difference while I'm playing. So it's like I'm not really enthused right now to like grind and find a good recovery piece. You know, it's like I don't care. So even for the stuff that you do have, it's not even really that impactful in my opinion. So there really is no difference when it comes to armor.
Yeah, And then just real quick before we move on to Jay-Z, Savage Sadistic in chat just says he's disagreeing with your analysis of the Mida. The Mida multi-tool was OP in Destiny 1 and it's the same in Destiny 2. The issue is that it has a very fast time to kill and is also extremely versatile and usable, which I agree. Yeah, having played a lot of trials, man. By the way, the 98% of match statistic, that wasn't from last week, that was from today. But before it got reverted back to the other map. But essentially, I see it from both sides. Like, usually I would approach this from the way you're saying, Icano. But I mean, the Mida multi-tool is kind of tested and true. So, like, as being extremely, extremely good. I feel like it was such a weird move to put it back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I guess. So, Jay-Z, what do you think about all of it? You can start with whatever you want.
Weapons, vanilla Destiny 2 has way more weapon designs. Because we're not even counting, like, trials and raid weapons look so much different than anything. Like Vault of Glass raid weapons were the same reskinned weapons of other variety. Like, these, they put extra stuff on them. I couldn't even tell you what model they're modeled after, you know, because they're so unique.
Yeah.
But as far as armor goes, like, the only stat that I really recognize more than anything else is mobility. I can tell when I have a higher mobility. There is a difference, and there wasn't really in Destiny 1, so I do appreciate that. On the other hand, I am collecting armor sets, not to look the same, but like the Crucible one tends to have a little bit higher mobility, especially on a Warlock, because it's hard to get your mobility up, because most of the extra stats, because it only has one thing that you can change, and it's the same on all of them, and most of them go to recovery. So, like, finding all the armor sets with extra mobility is what I'm trying to do, just first few spots in the raid, and like obviously Crucible, but I'm not super happy about it, because basically I will enjoy, like, I'm gonna have my Crucible set, I'm gonna have my raid set, I'm gonna have my running around, set, whatever. Like, it's cool that I can have different armor sets, and I can make them look. And I know Icano doesn't like the shaders, but I love the shader concept. I love how I can make my armor look 50 different ways, at the drop of a hat, and it makes it look unique. So
yeah,
my Guardian, even though I have the same arms, legs, and whatever, is going to look different than yours, and you can even mix and match the shaders. Like, I won't do that, but people can do that. So like, I'm not happy about all the same roles on all of them, and this and that. Obviously, I haven't been a proponent of that since day one.
Yeah.
Like, and I still hold true to it. It's not as big of a deal as I made it to begin with, but to me, it's still a big deal. But overall, I think they did a good job. I like. We'll have to see, because is that knight armor set? Where's that found? Because I haven't really found that knight
for
set.
the Titan.
Yeah.
The Titan, it's like a blue armor set. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I think it just drops in the world. I think it's just random.
So it's blue. So you can't. Okay.
No. Excuse me. Not blue rarity. It's blue in color. I can understand how that was extremely vague and misleading. Yeah. That's my bad.
Okay. Because I think the look, especially on a Titan, it looks really cool because you look like a knight, and I really like it. Like, and that's the only reason I would join New Monarchy, is just to get that armor set, because their weapons are pretty.
No. We're going to talk about why New Monarchy is the worst faction here in a bit.
Well, I agree. I completely. Well, yeah, New Monarchy is definitely the worst faction, but yeah, I completely agree with that.
Why Bungie has condemned them playing favorites. Well, we'll get to that in a sec. All right, what do you think about the Mida?
Mida, like, I'm using it right now just because it's a good team shot weapon, but they should take high caliber off of it. I don't know why they added high caliber back if they're going to bring the weapon back. Like, that makes 0 sense.
I think that would fix it too. Maybe take 1 or 2 bullets out of the mag, but those things.
That's how they fixed it in D1. They took high caliber because you already have.
Yep.
You have upped mobility just by holding the Mida in your hand. You have the fastest reload speed, pretty much, that you can already get on a scout rifle, and then on top of it, now it has high caliber rounds that cost.
And third eye, don't forget that.
Oh yeah, and third eye. Yeah.
And third eye is even more useful in Destiny 2 than it is in Destiny 1.
Because you don't have an artifact that gives you third eye. That's because I ran around with that constantly in Destiny 1. But yeah. So I don't know why they brought it back. Honestly, like it was the most used scout rifle exotic in Destiny 1.
It's so weird, man. I just feel like they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
they're like, this weapon caused us so many problems. Let's do it again.
Let's bring it back. And I kind of hit the nail on the head because that's what I felt. They brought back a lot of exotics that weren't used very much in Destiny 1.
Uh-huh.
You actually get to use them now. But when you bring back the OP Destiny 1 weapons and armor, like, who's going to use anything else? Like, I just don't understand it.
Agreed.
I really don't. Like,
I
that's
never
like bringing
thought I'd
back.
say this, but Hardlight is like one of my go-to guns.
Yeah, and I never use that gun.
That's so
in Destiny 1.
strange to think about. I still don't even think I have a hard light. I might have gotten one the other day. I don't remember. But it is so strange.
Balls, like when there's like
burn, yeah.
Thing, like Hardlight is so versatile. It's like you don't you can make it so like your class is arc, but then you can make your Hardlight solar because your power is void. You know, so you can have all three. Yeah, it's very versatile. So and the DPS really isn't that bad either for like, you know, for draining.
It's a mid-impact auto rifle, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it is.
So
I mean,
like
the accuracy still sucks. It still bounces all over the place, but at least it's more versatile now than it was in year one, and I'm using it now. So they succeeded with that, but yeah, like you guys are saying, I don't know what they were thinking, bringing back such a troublesome weapon. I mean, what's next? They're going to bring back Thorn so they can go through that?
Well, that's what I said. Thorn and Last Word. They might as well bring those back if they're.
I want the Last Word back, but let's keep
just because Thorn. Yeah, so you don't have to change the name of the podcast.
Yeah, right. We could be the prosecutor.
Well, if they could actually make the perk on it work correctly, it wouldn't be a bad weapon. But they nerfed it into the ground.
Yeah, it was either too powerful. That's like. I feel like that's inherent with a lot of these really good exotic perks. Things like high caliber rounds, things like the Thorn's Burn, things like the Last Word extra damage from the hip. It's like, I feel like there's like, it's like balancing a spoon, right? Because of how weirdly shaped a spoon is. It's got to be perfect, or else it's either too good or not good enough.
Yeah,
or
I don't think it. So if they were able to make it how it was originally intended, where it was just hip fire extra damage, I don't think it would have been OP, and I think it would have been just fine. But because they couldn't allow it to do that, they had to take it completely away, and then it made the gun pretty much useless. So,
another thing I'm really enjoying that they brought back are the Ahamkar's spines for the hunter, because now the trip mines, they last longer, and when they blow up, they tag people so you can see them through walls. That is so good in Trials.
Yeah, but like, it's still not a much used grenade. Like, I don't know why it didn't give you the double grenades like Destiny 1 did.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know. I've always been a fan of the trip mines. I'm really good at placing them. I don't know. I find with panic grenades, with things like suppression grenades and incendiaries, I'm good at aiming them, but I would say about a third of the time I end up like hurting myself with them too. So like, I like grenades that you can toss across the arena, you can block off a area away, and then you just can forget about it. That's my kind of thing to do.
But I still think the hunters, the void bow, is more useful because you can throw a smoke and it shows up as an enemy on the radar, and it kind of freaks some players out.
Yeah, I don't like that super. I've never liked that super in Crucible, and I still don't. Not at all. So
I understand that.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But yeah, that's pretty much all for that. You guys want to go ahead and talk about the faction thing?
So you don't think that they should have brought a second grenade back to it? You like it with the one?
I mean, they could have, but I am fine with it right now. I mean,
they did the same thing to Sunbreakers. Is they made the duration last longer, and I forget what the extra perk was. Maybe your melee recharges faster, your grenades recharge. I can't remember.
A lot of the exotics in Destiny 2, armor pieces exclusively, are not as powerful as exotics would have been in Destiny 1. Armor pieces.
No.
Orpheus Rig wants to have a word with you.
The one for the pole dancer and the one for the void bow, where gives you
the one for the pole dancer. So I have it right here. The Radiant Flex is not as good as the Tarantella was, or the Masked Third Man. Either one of them.
If you have enemies, you literally can have it almost like run around infinitely with that.
Or if you go up against a gold bar, you get like 22 hits off of them.
Yeah.
Keeps refilling with every hit.
Okay.
So and then the Orpheus rig, forget about it. That's like infinite shadow shots as long as you're surrounded by ads.
Yep, that's the one I was talking about.
That's the one. Yeah, Scally was trying to use that during the raid, and he could not get it to work.
You have to tag enemies, like get them tethered.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe he was just not doing it right. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like a bunch of them, like the void ability kills recharge your void abilities faster and stuff. Like, I just feel like there's so many better exotics in Destiny 1. Like, I don't have like maybe they're on different levels, right? Maybe I just haven't played with them enough. Because in Destiny 1, sure, there was a bunch of useless exotics, right?
Well, especially year 1 for the Warlock had barely anything that was useful other than the Heart of Praxic Fire.
Yeah,
and then they nerfed that into the ground,
So I don't know. I guess I still just need to get acclimated with a bunch of these exotics, but it's just, I don't know, man. I got to the point in Destiny 1 where I was like Bones of AO, and that was pretty much it. And now that we don't have them, I guess I'm just in a weird exotic limbo state, right? So
it's either Bones or
Celestial.
The Celestial, yeah.
Yeah. I like that they brought the Celestial Nighthawk back, by the way.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it's I like the exotics as they were, or the young Ahamkar's spine, how they are right now. But it's I don't know how much I would have enjoyed them the other way, so I can't really say much.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. You guys got anything else, or you want to move on to the factions, or?
Factions.
All right. The factions and why Dead Orbit is the best. So if you guys don't know, starting on Tuesday, September 26th, weekly reset time, 5 a.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific. The faction rally event begins, and essentially what you do, you go to the tower, you sell your soul to a certain faction, Dead Orbit, of course, and you go do activities. And whenever you complete things like Lost Sectors, Adventures, public events, Crucible games, raids, stuff like that, you earn faction reputation tokens for the said faction. And then you can return to that faction and rank them up, and then you get exclusive loot, and it's awesome. Then you also get all sorts of new loot, but the winning faction, the one faction that wins... So let's say if any of the 3 factions win, there's another weapon, and the vibe I was getting from it, and you guys can throw in your 2 cents on this, but is that the other weapons will never ever be available ever. If Future War Cult doesn't win, their weapon will never be available in the game. So the 3 they are. So for Dead Orbit, you get a scout rifle that's very much like the Call to Serve.
Call to Serve, yeah.
The Future War Cult, you get a Amalon Pulse Rifle that is very much like Nurgle. And for New Monarchy, you get a Suros Sidearm, which is the worst one. It's garbage because it's a Suros Sidearm. So essentially, we are calling for Dead Orbit to win first. But yeah, Dead Orbit's the best. So just before we get into this, Icona, what is your favorite faction and why? And then Jay-Z.
And why is it Dead Orbit?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's Dead Orbit. And the reason for that is because of the colors. I mean,
Boom.
Here's the thing. Destiny 1 did an awful job of telling us what the hell these factions are and what they're about. You have to really get into the grimoire and whatever to really understand what is exactly going on with these factions. So some people know all that stuff. Some people care about all that stuff. I'm not one of those guys. All I care about is the black and white. Black and white monochrome kind of color schemes is kind of my favorite thing in life in general. I know that stuff. So when it came to picking a faction, my first character was my Warlock. That was the first character I ever made in Destiny 1. And when it came to picking my faction, I got the Dead Orbit, bond, and I put it on her, and I never took it off. And when I started making my second character Hunter, my third was my Titan. When I made my alts, I gave them the other factions. So my Hunter was New Monarchy, and my Titan was Future War Cult. And I did that because I didn't want to miss out on any sweet gear that might be available for the other factions. So I didn't want to limit myself, but if it was a thing where I knew I would not be limited, if I would have, been loyal, there's no way I would have been Dead Orbit on all 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for me, it's purely just color choice. Now, if for whatever reason, Future War Cult starts offering a really sweet power weapon that you can only get if you're with Future War Cult, then I'm gonna have a tough decision to make. I really am, but I haven't seen that so far yet. I kind of like that rifle that Dead Orbit's gonna have, so I'm sticking with Dead Orbit.
Boom. All right, Jay-Z, tell us why Dead Orbit's your favorite faction.
Well, okay, hear me out. If we're talking Destiny 1,
I think someone's about to get kicked off the podcast.
if we're talking Destiny 1, Dead Orbit was the best looking, but I had 2 characters on New Monarchy, or not New Monarchy, sorry, Future War Cult, and then 1 character on Dead Orbit, just because Future War Cult had the better weapons in year 2 and year 3 of Destiny 1. Dead Orbit had a close second. New Monarchy was always crap. Like they barely had anything good. Year 1 they had a auto rifle that was pretty decent, but as far as looks, I preferred the shaders from Dead Orbit, the gear from Dead Orbit, weapons. Future War Cult all the way. They had the best hand cannons, year 2 and year 3. They had the best rocket launcher, year 2 and year 3. Their sidearm was the best, year 3, and I think Dead Orbit normally had better scout rifles. I think that was the only thing that they normally had. That
Hung Jury, mother chickens.
Yeah, Hung Jury. But that was that god roll, and that they were lucky to have that for a year. But once they got off that roll, like their year 3 scout rifle wasn't as good as I believe the Future War Cult one, if I remember right. But Dead Orbit looks wise, if they all have similar weapons, obviously it's gonna be Dead Orbit, because that Titan helmet looked pretty sweet. Like I said, I did like the night set for New Monarchy, so I think I'm gonna switch my characters every week just to try to get the armor for all 3 of them. But once I get all the armor, I'm probably not gonna touch New Monarchy unless they bring like some awesome weapons, and it's gonna be all Dead Orbit and Future War Cult. So, but Dead Orbit probably in looks alone, if that's what we're going on.
Okay.
But we'll have to wait to see the weapons perks, because it could be terrible perks on the weapons, so who knows.
See, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have 1 character of each. Make my hunter Dead Orbit, and just so no matter who wins, I don't have to spend 50,000 glimmer to get the weapon.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Hopefully it's not New Monarchy though, because that's a terrible weapon.
Suck, dude.
But people, I mean, smart people are gonna be like, it's either gonna be the pulse rifle or the scout rifle. So
yeah,
we're pretty solid on both of those. And I want to see.
Can I ask a noob question?
Yeah.
Why is the Suros sidearm so bad?
Have you ever used a Suros sidearm?
Full auto, it's terrible.
Oh, is it full auto? See, I thought it was one of those triple tap ones.
No, those are Amon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's full auto. Jeez.
Yeah, they're so bad, dude.
Yeah, they kick so hard.
And they just...
I don't think I've ever used it. To be honest, I don't think I've ever used one. So
just dismantle it.
Yeah, just save yourself.
Yeah, just dismantle it before you get frustrated.
Just infuse it in my rat king?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, actually. They're so bad, man. It's like...
Terrible.
It's insane.
God, why does Bungie hate New Monarchy so much?
That's what I'm saying, dude. They gave him the worst faction representative with the stupid hat. That looks
exactly like Triple Wreck, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Triple Wreck.
Well, with the Shriner's hat on.
Yeah, with the Shriner's hat on, you're right.
Yeah, it might as well drive off in a tiny motor or tiny vehicle or whatever,
It's just, oh man, it's like, and they gave him the worst weapon. This was Bungie absolutely condemning New Monarchy right here. Plus, it's like New Monarchy wants a dictatorship, like lore-wise, and there's no way I'm gonna sign up for that garbage, like, so, yeah, pretty adamant that New Monarchy is by far the worst.
Today. I had no idea that that's what they wanted. But
yeah, so you know the name Monarchy? Like they want to.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
They want to set up a new Monarchy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Would you explain that better? I don't think you explained that well enough.
So you see,
see what happened was
there was an old Monarchy, and now they want a new one. There you go. That's pretty good.
Wow.
No man, they suck. They're terrible. And then you got Future War Cult.
But we have to see their other weapons though. Like their other weapons could make for could have really good perks on them.
Yeah, I mean, I forget it began with a V. I don't remember what it was, but it was the year, I think maybe year 3 even. Maybe it was Rise of Iron. There is a new Monarchy auto rifle that like had like 90 in the mag, but it wasn't like it was
The Vanquisher.
Vanquisher. Yeah, it wasn't like a super fast fire. It wasn't like a Doctrine version, but it was like a mid-range auto rifle that just had a huge mag, and it was a laser beam because it had really good stability. I love that thing, so I was glad that my hunter was on New Monarchy. Jump in and buy it relatively simply. So
Yeah, my hunter will be on New Monarchy because that's my least played character. So
because
yeah.
Oh man. Oh goodness, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go through chat and see what everyone thinks. Hopefully they like Dead Orbit. We're gonna. Oh my gosh, there's so much, man. Here we go. Killtastic. Dead Orbit! Exclamation point. It's pretty good. Savage says, "Wait, there are other factions other than Dead Orbit?" Great question. Jason, the Master King. Future War Cult is the best.
Yeah, they have weapons.
Zesia, Dead Orbit is the only clan we will allow to be cheered for in all caps.
You better hope for good perks on those weapons. That's all I'm saying.
Rubber on Rock RC, Dead Orbit, excuse me, I know how to read, is the goth spaceman. I don't know if that's good or bad. Sounds good to me. Let's see. Future War Cult has nicer colors or nasty colors. That's my problem with Future War Cult.
Yeah, I don't like their armor.
The colors. I feel like a colorblind gerbil made the color scheme for them, and then they just kind of went with it. You know,
gerbil. Like you could have picked any animal there. Why?
It's random animal, random occurrence. It's
look. It doesn't. It does not detract from the message I'm trying to get across. So, I don't know, man.
At least pick an animal with opposable thumbs.
I have like 2 options. I can either do humans or I can do New World primates for that. What am I supposed to? Or apes? I don't remember. Yeah, New World primates. That's right. I'm gonna keep going. Killtastic says, I think Bungie hates New Monarchy. If you don't hate New Monarchy, there's something wrong with you. Future War Cult is a cult. Very astute.
Go on.
Hey, I drank the Kool-Aid all year 2 and 3, and it was delicious.
Oh man! Oh goodness! But cults are often associated with bad people. Yeah, so is heroin.
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt the necessity to say that, but it's true.
Yeah, I don't understand the comparison there, but we'll go with it. You know, just for the sake of
for the colorblind gerbils.
Yes, for the colorblind gerbils.
Oh man, but yeah, you know, just Dead Orbit's the best, man. It's undeniable, right? They got the cool hair. They got. I feel like they listen to heavy metal.
Oh,
They're just good, man. They're just good.
Yeah, you know what? I bet they listen to it. Yeah, absolutely.
See?
Actually, I think he had Britney Spears on his playlist when I was looking at his tablet. I'm pretty sure I saw that on there.
Oh goodness, I don't think so, but maybe
it was right on his tablet, man. I was reading it. Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Destiny's Child.
I'm pretty sure System of a Down covered Britney Spears, so you were probably just looking at the System of a Down.
You know, I wouldn't put that past System of a Down actually. I'd give him that. Yeah, Dead Orbit will win the faction rally. Dude, there should be a like a bet, you know, like a betting pool. Someone on Reddit should start one of those.
Well, yeah, even in game, like I remember, you know, in Destiny 1, maybe year 2, someone had a really awesome idea on Reddit. They were like, "What if you could like go to the tower and like bet on trials matches that are going on?" And like you could bet Glimmer.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And like there would be like a big betting board in the tower next to the bulletin board or something. Like
so that'd be pretty cool.
Like, he had this whole idea and everything. I'm like, yeah, like well, as big as it is now. Spoiler alert: there's a tower in this game. As you know, as big as the tower is now, they could probably put like a whole like betting area of the tower, so you could bet on stuff and bet like which of the 3 factions is going to win. You could wager as much Glimmer as you want. I don't know.
That would be super cool.
I would hate to tell you this, but they'd probably have to make it an M-rated game because there'd be gambling in it.
Ooh,
is gambling M?
I didn't think about that.
It's one of the things that can make it M because they have to put it on the cover.
What garbage!
It's considered an adult activity. You have to be 21 to bet. I'm pretty sure. So.
Way to go, CS:GO Lotto, ruining it for everyone, man. Goodness. But yeah, so that's pretty much the faction rally. Don't let New Monarchy win, guys. And yeah, just to wrap up the stream, pretty much just because Icano wasn't here, and we've done the raid a couple more times. Icano, you've done the raid, right?
Oh my
God. Oh.
Oh man,
it hurts my soul.
For those of you who were not,
because I've only done the raid once.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't get the joke, he's done the raid, but only once and only with us. So yeah, he's obviously done it. But he wasn't on last week, so I wanted to get his opinions of the raid and what you think about pretty much every encounter. So more semi-quickly, go ahead and do your run-through.
Right. Well, I'll go through the order that it is this week, because that's one of the first things that I like. Order is going to change every week, so that's pretty cool. It'll at least freshen it up, you know. So in order of this week, the first encounter was dogs, and that for me was the most frustrating encounter, because I really was with a bad team that could not communicate, and nobody really knew which dogs did what and how they were going to be moving and everything.
Yeah.
So it was really frustrating at first, but when I ran it with you guys, it was a lot more smooth, and I was able to kind of
because we did it in 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. And I also at that point had read a lot of strats online. I'd watched a lot of YouTube videos, so I started realizing I wasn't using the right equipment. So once I had it down a little bit more, I started to realize it's not a bad encounter at all. It takes a bit of time and practice, just like everything.
It's so much fun, dude. I actually really enjoy that encounter now.
Yes.
Yeah, I did too, actually. Now I actually enjoy it. I look forward to it. As before, I was dreading it. Next was the Gauntlet, I believe, right?
Yes.
So Gauntlet, for me, is the best part of the raid. I love the Gauntlet. It makes you feel like you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. What I didn't appreciate was your guys' strat, because it was just so confusing for me to get a hold of it, because I'd watched so many strategy videos on how to do it, and none of them do it the way you guys did it. I mean, I was able to pick it up once you guys went through it a couple of times, but man, was it confusing. So I don't know. I think I would enjoy that encounter a little bit more if I was doing the quote unquote normal strat that I see everybody doing online. I'm not going to get into it for the people in chat that want to know how you guys do it, because let's just say there's a lot of zigzagging and you don't do every plate, and it's really confusing.
Scaro9 video.
Boom. I already covered it.
Yep, watch his vid. So when it comes to the bathhouse, that to me I felt was kind of meh. That was basically a worse version of totems from.
That's so weird, because Jay-Z and I both last week said it's a better version of totems.
No, I don't know. It's just kind of boring. I feel like I'm just standing there staring at this bar of soap.
Well, I'm sorry we make things so easy.
I thought when you liked when the soap was dropped, though, Icona.
Wow. Okay, well, podcast appropriate confirmed 2017.
Yeah, this is the wrong podcast for that conversation. If Scaro allows us to have another lewd episode, then I can get into that with explicit detail.
Smash surpass Destiny 2 version, man.
Yes, let's do it. Hawthorne for days. Okay, so.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, I don't know. At least with totems, you're standing there, you're killing ads. You got to run up to the thing, you swap. You got to kill the wizards or whatever they're called, the flying dudes. And
Bathers.
Then you got I'm talking Taken King. And then you got to
kill
the waves of knights that are coming in. Then the knights start turning yellow. It gets a little bit more difficult. With the bathhouse, there's just the one naked cabal that comes out from the bar of soap thing, and you melt him, and then that's it. You just stand there staring at this bar of soap, waiting for your counter to count down, and then the guy comes and replaces you. Then you grab the thing again. Then you go stand in front of a different bar of soap, and then you watch that go down for 45 seconds. I don't know. I just felt like it was.
Wow, you should really make internet guides on how these encounters work.
Can I counter that? Cause
I don't know. I just felt it was very ho hum and very stand around and do nothing ish. I don't know.
So after you kill your guy, ads continue to spawn into the arena that you have to kill. It's not just the one. B, we one phased it, so you didn't get to see the center part twice. because the center part spawns a ton of ads. We were just taking care of them with supers. Like you have to be super coordinated with that.
Yeah, I know.
So like,
I took a wave out with my super. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, not every team's gonna one phase that.
You just wait till hard mode, buddy.
Yeah,
that's
we
what
have
I
to
got.
one phase that. Like,
oh yeah, I'm not saying it's easy. I mean, it was like, you know, I guess. But easy is not really the argument here. I guess boring is more of the argument. Like it's just like, if they want to up the difficulty, fine. But I'm still going to be staring at a bar of soap. Now, if they give you more stuff to do, then okay, cool. Maybe hard mode will be maybe that'll be the truth.
So you
right
like
now it's like just stare at this bar of soap for 45 seconds, then stare at a different.
What is this bar of soap you were referring to? The chain?
Okay, when you're staring in front of the chain, there's a bar of soap that's in the chain, and then when the bar of soap gets locked into the bath, that's what locks it, and that's when you can.
So your clasp, you're referring to the clasp of a chain as a bar of soap.
There's a thing in the middle that.
Yeah, the white thing. Yeah, it's the clasp of the chain.
Bar of soap. That's what it is, and that's what everybody calls it. That's what like all like the major YouTubers when they were doing their strat, they always referred to it as the soap. I'm not the only one. Trust me, I'm not on an island. I'm definitely not the only one that thinks it.
So you liked the totems like 10 times through the totems? Like you didn't think that was a little monotonous?
I don't know. I just felt like it was more intense. I felt there was more going on. I felt there was a little bit more to do.
I just didn't like. So like if you had a player that wasn't that good at totems and you say you wiped on the 7th time, you were gone, and you had another.
That's all of King's Fall. Every encounter in King's Fall.
Yeah, but that one, like, you could one phase it. So literally, if you messed up, you still had a chance to come back, you know, and do it within 3 minutes.
Okay,
like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. That's true.
Yeah.
That is the good thing about this raid.
Yeah.
King's Fall, it didn't matter how good you were. Every encounter in King's Fall lasted the same amount of time. Whereas in this one, you can pretty much blow through the whole raid. You can one phase literally everything. In fact, I just saw a video that was posted on YouTube recently. A team did it in 24 minutes. They have the world's fastest completion now.
We're going for that next.
Which is crazy. 24 minutes. That's nuts. So yeah, that is something I do appreciate about this raid, is that every encounter does not take the same amount of time regardless of how well you do. So that is welcome. And then for Callus, I mean, you guys made it super easy for me. I only had been in the room once with the other team that I tried to play with, and I was in the suck zone with the giant purple head, and I had my part down. I never caused a wipe once. I knew what I had to do, and I was doing perfectly fine, but for some reason, we just kept wiping and wiping, and that was it. I never got to see the throne room. So when I did it with you guys, I got to do the throne room, and you guys basically told me, kill ads, don't die, and just, you know, DPS Callus when we tell you, and that was it. You guys made it super easy for me, so I didn't really have to, you know, get too deep into it. So overall, as an encounter, I do appreciate, again, that it, you know, you can one phase it and you can make it go super quick. So if you have a good team, you can one phase literally everything in the raid. And if you know the underbelly really well, you don't even have to do the outside part, the courtyard part.
Yep.
You can completely bypass that if you know the tunnels and everything too. So yeah, overall, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give the Leviathan a 7.
Okay.
And if you're gonna ask me to rank all of the raids, I probably could not do that, but I will tell you flat out that Vault of Glass will always be my #1 favorite raid of all time.
I don't know, dude. I think Bungie's got some stuff coming.
Vault of Glass will always be my #1 favorite raid, just because of how special and how it was the first time and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. With all that said, Leviathan is, I would say, probably a very close second. I mean, it's definitely up there. It's very accessible. It's fun. Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, cool. I would just say, like, oh no, I don't know. I agree with most of that. It's just the Gauntlet thing. My only problem with Gauntlet, and no matter how you're doing it, I just feel like it was my favorite encounter, but now thinking about that, how we're gonna have to try and carry people through it.
Yeah.
That's the only encounter where I can't think of how you would carry someone through.
Well, it's the thing is, we've played with each other so much, we picked up on it the fastest of any of the encounters.
Yeah.
So we actually blew through Gauntlet on our world's first attempt, but with players that aren't used to playing with us or don't have the chemistry with us, it's going to be tough because even the people that we took through that, it took 2 or 3 wipes just for them to kind of get it down of what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, technically, the first team I played with, they quote unquote carried me through it because I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first time. They knew, and honestly, I mean, again, their strategy was a hell of a lot easier than your guys' strategy, and they were able to quote unquote carry me by telling me, you know, you stand here, you do this. You see a Scion in a bubble, make sure you punch it before you go to the next one. I mean, they told me what to do and where to go and how to do it. So, your guys' strat, good luck. You know, you guys.
I just don't understand how skipping a plate is difficult.
It just makes it needlessly complicated. You know, like the way that they had me do it, they clockwise. You shoot the arrow, you punch your Scion, go to the next one, shoot your arrow, punch
I don't
your
understand how you were ever both on the plate.
The other guy was just doing this thing. I don't remember what his role was, but he always made sure that he was when it came time to shoot the arrow. So, I mean, I forget, like, I don't even know what his role was. I don't remember what he was doing exactly, but he was able to do it. So,
I'll have to, so they just 4-mans the raid? So someone just 4-man the raid? So I'm gonna have to see how they did that part 4-man. Like, so you must be able
to shoot across the arena.
Well,
yeah, they had 2 people in running and 2 people.
Yeah, no, I get that, but how do you open the?
You'd have to have one go, and then they team shoot it, and then he jumps on his plate from the side, and then I think I know how they could do it.
Okay, we'll have to. It's probably not the time to be discussing this, but we'll find it out later. But yeah, that's pretty much episode 35.
35.
Yeah, man. One question. Jason asks what our favorite shaders are. Callus is selected by far.
Is that the gold one? Yeah, the gold one with the white looks
gold
amazing.
And purple. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What do I use? Hold on a second. Let me go in my inventory.
I actually like most of the legendary ones. Like,
yeah, the 9 ones are really nice too. The neon blue.
Like, pretty much if it's an Eververse, it's awesome.
Yeah, which is, well, I mean, they did a good job of separating the really good ones behind, like, tougher to get.
Getting your money. I like the Viced Poison Shimmer, I like the Indigo Matrix, and I like the Arctic Pearl. Those are my 3 favorites. But
they also did a really good job of adding texture with some of those shaders too.
Yeah, for real.
That is awesome. I like how, because last week Tess had the class items on sale in Eververse. So I bought the Hunter Cape because that's the only full-length cape that you can really get right now. And I bought that immediately, and I was messing around with shaders with that. And I forget what shader it was, but there's a shader that actually gave it like so much texture. It almost made it look like an exotic cape. I wish I remember what shader it was, but yeah, absolutely, it's pretty sweet how the shaders can actually give it a little bit of feel too, and not just color. And I like how they have like shimmers now too, so they can make them glossy and stuff.
Yes, that is, especially if you've looked at them on sparrows and ships and stuff. It looks awesome.
Yeah, for real, and ghosts too. They look really good on ghosts. All right, well, I mean, that's pretty much all the questions we have. Anything else you guys want to say on any of our topics tonight, or are we good?
If you don't have Destiny 2, pick it up.
If you don't have Destiny 2, I don't know why you're listening this far in the podcast, but
sometimes people check it out. They're like, I don't know about this game.
All right, well, thank you for watching. First off, if you don't have the game, that's cool. All right, let's go through our things. So I've been Scaro9. You can find me at Scaro9 on YouTube. This podcast is uploaded to iTunes. So if you're listening to iTunes or you would like to support the podcast, please click the link in the description. Go leave us a review. That would help us so much. I very much appreciate that. If you like to keep all up to date with all this stuff in Destiny that doesn't really require a video or a live stream or anything, go ahead and follow me over on Twitter. That's some of the easy stuff, like the Trials map changing today from Altar of Flame to whatever the heck it is, Eternity. That sort of simple stuff, that'll be over on my Twitter because I'm not making a minute video waste your guys' times on that. So that's what all my social media is for. I'll let Jay-Z do his thing, and then Icona.
Jay-Z Basketball on Xbox and Twitter.
I am XX Iconoclast, and you can find me on Xbox and Twitter.
All right, there we go. So, like I said, episode 35. It's been a heck of a 3 or 4 episodes for Destiny 2. Cannot wait for the faction rally. Cannot wait for hard mode raid. Cannot wait for Iron Banner. It's going to be an exciting couple of months. But until then, thank you guys for coming out and watching. I really do appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.